how many times has this happened to you? You wanted to build a guitar that looked a lot like this Jazzmaster body, but when it was all said and done, it ended up looking like this. Well, that's me, and that's many of my attempts. But I decided to get some training at Texas Toast Guitars in Denver, Colorado, to learn about how to make this into this. So I booked a trip in June of 2021, got on the plane, and got down to Union Station. From there, I took the B line, which is a light rail system that took me from Union Station to Westminster Station. And when I got off the train, this is what I saw, a parking lot. And you'll notice there's a staircase on the right-hand side there. That takes you up into this parking lot that you can cut through. And right across the street from this parking lot is the very subtle orange door of Texas Toast Guitars. And behind there lies mystery, suspense, and a lot of laughs, but some fantastic training on how to build guitars. So when I showed up, the class had already begun. I was a little late, but it was basically a build a classic Fender or bolt-on neck guitar class. Many were making Telecasters, Stratocasters. One gentleman was making a bass, and I decided to do a Jazzmaster. So from within an hour of arriving, I was given a rectangular block of wood. I was soon at the bandsaw, cutting it out into the shape of a Jazzmaster. And then within a few more hours, I had everything routed out on the pin router. And by the end of the day, we were all sanding and getting it as smooth as we could in order to have it into paint the next day. So first thing on Tuesday, the second day, we had it in the paint booth. And Chris painted sealer, and also we worked on picking out colors. I chose white with a drop of red in it to get it kind of more of a pink, light pink, dirty tone. I don't know what else to call it. It was a bit pink, but that's what I was going for, kind of a shell pink. Then we worked on sanding and more sanding. We also then got started on our necks while the paint was drying. So we, let me show you here a picture of, we started working on headstocks, drawing out the shape of it. Chris also engraved our headstocks with logos that we wanted. We also cut the slots in the fingerboards. The necks were already made, but they weren't radius, so we had to radius them. We had to cut the slots for the frets. We had to put in the markers if we wanted markers on the top and on the sides. And then we got into shaping the neck, and we used some tools, power tools, to do that, to get us rough shape. But then we were using rasps and sandpaper and other methods by hand to get the shape we wanted. And then Thursday, we started getting things a bit more together, mating things up, and also starting in on our wiring. A lot of time spent on the frets, getting the frets really nice and smooth and crowned, and all these little things that you just don't think about that you have to do. And then on Friday, we started assembling. And by 5 o'clock Friday, we all had a guitar with the tuners on, neck bolted on, ready to play. And I even put the guitar back in the suitcase that's behind it there and took it home in my suitcase and bolted it. But yeah, we could get creative with our logos and the headstock shapes. I went for kind of a Bigsby look. So what I'll tell you is You learn a lot, and it goes by pretty fast. But it's a lot of fun, and I encourage anyone to sign up and give it a try. It's 5 great days. I'd recommend coming in on the Sunday before. I didn't have that option, but I think I would have been better off if I came in the day before. Also, if you can stay late and stay Friday night too, and so you don't have to rush off, and you can finish up some things, because you'll need all the time you can get. You're gonna wish that you had more time, trust me. But you do leave with guitar. So some other things to think about if you're gonna take a trip and go take a class, which I can't recommend enough. I would definitely start with the bolt-on class first, because there's so much to do, and I plan on going back for the set neck. But things to know when you get there: Matt and Chris, they're really nice, and they're a lot of fun, and they share a lot of knowledge. This isn't hang out and drink. It's nothing like that. It's you come in and you work, and you're working and working. But what I wish I knew beforehand was to plan my lunch, because there's an Arby's within walking distance. There's a Chipotle not far, but know what you're going to do for lunch. And if you can bring lunch with you, that's even better. So you don't have to leave, so you can keep working, because you need all the time you can get. At night, they weren't really too into going out. We were invited out to Odyssey Beer Works one night, but I couldn't go. But the main thing is to get some rest. You're going to work hard all day long, and you need to rest. The next thing I can't emphasize enough is sanding. Sanding, and more sanding. That's what you're going to be doing. Get used to it. You're going to be sanding. Before you leave to go there for your class, buy a palm sander at home and a big pack of sandpaper, and just sand things, and get good at going from 80 to 120 to 220 to 320 to whatever, moving through the different types of sandpaper, and that will really help you out a lot, because it's just constant sanding. From the raw wood to after you have it in sealer, then you get it into paint. The neck, the sanding takes forever, and once you think you're done sanding, you're not, and you need to keep sanding some more. And the other thing too is to embrace the mistakes. You want to have mistakes while you're there, or new modifications. I made an error when I was putting the dots in the neck, and I got off by one, and Matt showed me how to fix it. And that's the thing too. You want to have mistakes while you're there, so you can learn how to fix them and move on, or when to cut bait and start over. And that's something you're going to get out of this class from the team, and that's what you hope to happen, because that's when you really learn. So anyway, I can't thank them enough. I had a great time coming up there. A Thursday we went out for steaks. That was a lot of fun. Mrs. Toast is really sweet, and made some nice friends in the process. Everyone checked their egos at the door, and we're humble, and we're ready to learn. And so I can't tell you to encourage you enough to take one of the classes there. It's worth it. And lately they have changed the format a little bit, where you can bring your own parts. And I thought that was nice, but I will have to say the wood that they supplied was fantastic. They didn't cheap out on any of that. The neck was a really nice maple neck with some bird's eye in it, and a little bit of flame, rosewood fingerboards, or we're doing poison wood also on a few, and the body was ash. I had a real nice ash body. Some of the guys had some really nice pieces of ash too. Mine was perfect for what I was doing, had the right look that I wanted. And then there was other pieces there too. So you did get some choice. But the other thing they didn't skimp on the components. So the pickups, they were Fender brand. They were factory Fender pickups for my build. The pick guard was real nice. It wasn't a real thin, cheap one. The tremolo and the bridge were a real good quality. They weren't Fender, but they were a good quality. Now, I've changed some things since I've been home. I've put some different pickups in. I've changed out the bridge and things, but I still have these good pieces I can put on another build later. But the tuners, they use the hip shots, and those install real easy. And this was before. Now they're using the locking. We weren't using the locking at that time. So please, while you still can, book a time to go to Texas Toast in Denver and build a guitar for yourself. You have a lot of fun. I play it every day, and it just gets better. The more I play it, the better it sounds. All right, we'll see ya.